lambolala. I like how I drank that. But anyway, Dume lambolala, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I go by the name Rose Ramaro, and I'm a lifestyle, beauty, and storytime content creator. It looks like I'm gonna become a Sunday girly ngoku, because I think this will be my second week I'm posting on a Sunday, mainly because I didn't shoot on time. And I don't even have an excuse, guys. I am just a girl. I'm just a girl. So yeah, I'm just a girl. That's my excuse. I don't even have a sad story for that matter, honestly speaking. But anyway, today, well, last week, I promised you guys that if we reached 100 subscribers, that I would do that I would do a get to know me video. And guess what? Guess what? We are at a whopping 112 subscribers. So, well, guys, you don't know how delighted I am. You have no idea. Even though it doesn't, the 100 and something subscribers don't come with monetization or anything like that. But it's the fact that we moved within a time frame or time span of 2 months. We are at 100 and something. Girl, we're making milestones. We're making good, proper moves. Like literally, we are not standing in one place, we are moving. That is why I'm so excited. And I'm mainly excited because I'm looking at, if within a time frame of 2 months, I can hit 100 and something subscribers, don't you think in the next 2, we can hit that 1,000 that I actually need? Yeah? Don't you think so? Can't we push for that? We most definitely can. I have faith and I have trust in you. Okay, and another thing that I wanted to state on here is the fact that I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful for the 112 subscribers. I am grateful and I'm thankful to them for each and every one of their contributions. Because without you guys, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. Even the ones that we harassed, the ones who didn't take a liking to us constantly, because my family has been on this. They've been trying to get me to this 100 and something or 1,000 at that. And we've basically been pushing. And my mother has been on the front line, to be precise. She's the one person. Yes, many others have definitely assisted me to get here. But she has pushed, and she pushed a lot, guys, seeing me. So I'm really grateful. I'm even thankful to the ones, maybe too. Thank you to you too, my darlings. Thank you so much. Thank you. But I'm very delighted, guys. That's one thing I can tell you, and I'm very grateful at being where I am currently. And yeah, let's grow together. Let's grow together. There will be a point in time whereby I will get to these YouTube streets and I'll be like, to those who have been my day ones, my VIP gigi. Do you know what that reminded me of? That's actually someone's intro. And I was watching her most recent vlog, which was her, I don't know whether they call it a launchion or something around those lines, but it was, or it's road to 100,000. Ne? I don't recall what it was, but basically she had an event with her subscribers, her day ones. And I realized how, I think I've just got my teeth. As I was saying, with Sine Kukuletu, I realized one thing when I watched that video of hers, whereby it was that launchion or whatever you call it. And when she went on, as in like when she came up on stage and people were singing her songs as well as reciting her intro word for word, it made me realize, Basana, I don't have a proper intro. I don't have a proper intro. Like guys, Zini, I want something catchy, but I know that most probably I won't be able to come up with that. But I would like something catchy. So if any of you would help me or assist me in getting a very catchy like intro for myself. I don't know, man. Difuna when I get on, people know who Rose Ramaro is. You know? I want them to recite what I say word for word, like I saw with her. So yeah, if any of you are interested in trying to script or put together an intro for me, kindly share it. Please. Please, man. Please. Now, on to the business of the day. As I said before, that this is a get to know me video. There were a couple of questions that got sent through. Not everyone sent questions, so I have a couple written. It's not much, but it's questions nonetheless, and they will give you not a preview, but will give you an idea or a kind of an image of who I am. The first question is, well, it's not much of a question, it's more of a statement. Tell us about you, right? Yeah. Tell us about you. Well, I'm Rose Ramaro. But those who actually know me on a personal capacity know me as Ritsidi Sitswe, Rose Ramaro. Those are the names on my ID and other documents of mine, obviously. But most people call me TD. Now, one would ask, why didn't I go for being known as Utsidi? Why didn't I go for the name Tsidi Ramaro? And I was just like, why Tsidi Ramaro? Like, why Tsidi Ramaro? I had to bring something catchy because I was like, Ritsidi Sitswe Ramaro. Not many. We are different ethnic groups here. We come from different, social groups as well, as not many people, even the ones that I have come across, are able to pronounce Ritsidi Sitswe. So if I'm going to go for Ritsidi Sitswe, it means a certain denomination of people are going to be able to call me properly or say my name properly and pronounce it appropriately. But there are those who are just going to struggle, and I'm just going to have to settle. And one thing about me, I don't settle when it comes to my name. It's either you call me Ritsidi Sitswe or kindly just say Sisi, please. Kindly, because I'm not gonna settle for your Ritsidi Sitswe, your everything and none and the other. So yeah, I didn't use TD either, even though it's a name which is well known and easy to pronounce. But I was just like, maybe not CD. I feel like it's too common as well. It's honestly too common. Hence why I went with my second name. I was just like, I feel like I feel like a Rose Ramaro. I honestly just felt like a Rose Ramaro. You know? We are still on the tell us about you question. Where am I from? I'm from a small town. And it's funny that I say small because the last time I checked stats, we were a little over 1 million people in my town. So when I say small town, it feels weird. But nonetheless, because that's how people deem it. Well, I'm from a small town called Alo North. It is a town in the Eastern Cape. For those who don't know, basically the last town just before the Free State, because what's separating the Free State and us is the Orange River, and I think they pronounce it as Hartzog Bridge. The Hartzog Bridge, but it's spelled as HERTZOG. Yeah, the Hartsog Bridge. That's what's separating us in the Free State. As soon as you go beyond the bridge, you're in the Free State. I studied here. I don't know how to put it. I studied here from daycare until high school. I relocated in the year 2020, 2012, not 2020 something, 2012, and I moved to Port Elizabeth, which is now known as Gqeberha. That was basically to further my studies. And for my studies, I did journalism and media studies. Basically, it wasn't, I wouldn't say journalism specifically was a passion of mine. I won't lie. I always knew that I wanted to do something in media. And it's just that at that particular, excuse me, college, the only thing in media that they had was the journalism and media studies. So I decided to go into that. And the funny part is, I enjoyed that course. I don't want to lie to you guys. I never thought I would. I thought I would be a drama girly. But I enjoyed journalism so much. I enjoyed writing. I enjoyed putting to paper what it is that I was opinionated about, what it is that I felt at the time. And yeah, man, it was quite nice. I'm also a mother of one, precious daughter who was turning 12 2 weeks back. I'm a mother of one. Am I single? What's single? Define single first. When you say single, according to you, what do you mean? If you can define that according to your own understanding, maybe I'd be able to answer you, but I can safely say that I am unmarried. I hope I answered that question. What else? What else can I say? What am I currently doing? In terms of career-wise, I'm a vlogger. Career-wise, I'm a vlogger. Yeah. That's pretty much all that you can know about me, I think. Unless there's more you'd want to know that I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The next question is, who is your celebrity crush? Who's my celebrity crush? I don't have a celebrity crush. Actually, I don't have a crush, period. I think the last time I had a crush, I was probably around the age of 11, 10. I'm not saying I was dating someone at that age. I'm saying the last time I had a crush was around then. And I remember it was a spoken thing where people were sharing the fact that they have crushes on particular people. And so I shared mine. I told the girls, but I have a crush on this guy. And yeah, but and then there was this girl who just decided, but you know what? I'm gonna tell Umokai, but Otsidi has a crush on you. And what was that now? Oh, we come across snitches in all forms and shapes, I tell you. And she told him, and I remember it being such a huge thing. At school that now all of a sudden everyone mentioned that they have crushes on particular people. But for some weird reason, mine was the one that came out. But why? I don't know. And then I remember him asking me, and I was like, no, that's a lie. That is a lie. I never said that to her. That's one thing about him. If Kishara Ntolo wena spiring, or we talk, we gossip or whatever about somebody, and you decide to become a telltale, uzosheka wedwa babe. Uzosheka wedwa nzoyiphika. I will deny you. and I'll deny you 3 times. And the crow will, oh no, not the crow. The cock. Is it the cock or the crow? No, it's the cock. Will cackle. But yeah, I'll deny you, my babe. One thing about me, because when I tell you things, I don't expect you to go and tell other people or the next person. So yeah, she decided to do that, and I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. So since then, I think it's actually a trauma for me more than anything else. It's not a matter of I don't have a crush because I don't have a crush generally. So I just don't have a crush because the last time I shared my crush, a person decided to go and tell on me, to that person. So ever since then, I was just like, yeah, this crushing thing is not for me. So yeah, I don't crush anymore. Honestly, I just don't anymore. Excuse me. My next question is, what is the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you? The most embarrassing thing. Ooh. I almost said nothing until I remembered. Yo, this one time, I don't know what was going on in our heads. Ne? I don't know, but we decided to go to this particular party. Like I said, I don't know what was going on through our heads. We weren't invited. We weren't invited, and we got there. Hardly 5 minutes being there, someone walked up to us. And now knowing who it was who walked up to us, but this particular lady walked up to us and she was like, sorry, who do you know here? I'm so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. Oh my god. I remember my amazing Sana. At some point I was just like, we came to, I don't recall what we said, but she kept on asking like, who do you guys know here? And I feel like that was her polite way of saying, no one knows you here, so why are you here when you weren't invited? And the reason, now coming back to the reason why I know that that was the owner of the house, is months later from that event, I recall that I was alone at home and I called my then colleague and I was like, girl, I'm alone and it's the weekend. What are you doing? She's like, I am at a house party. She's like, if you want to pull through. And indeed, she gave me the directions. I went and I realized, Basana, and when I got there, when I got there this time around, the reception, guys, it was beautiful. Oh, I was welcomed with warm hands. Then says Beleni Tombi. Even the alcohol that I had bought myself, I didn't even need it. That's how much Ben says Beleni Ngakona. I didn't even need it. I literally enjoyed myself that night. The very same house whereby a couple of months prior I had been asked about Nazibani Apa. Was the same house. I was just welcomed warmly, so like appreciated and everything. And I was just like, yo, Sana, are these people the very same people? Because it seems like they aren't. But in actuality, I know the reason why at first they had asked us, because usisters was dating an ex of the other one, so that's probably why. Yeah. Okay, moving right along. How would you rate your childhood from a scale of 1 to 10? That's a very vague question, though. That's honestly a very vague question. What exactly am I rating from my childhood? What is it that I'm rating from my childhood from a scale of 1 to 10? It's a vague question. Unfortunately, I don't have much to say about that because it's a question that does not like I specify. So I don't know what am I rating, to be precise, from a childhood. If only there was more clarity to the question. If only. And the next one is, if you could have a dinner with three people, okay, dead or alive, who would they be? Firstly, I certainly would love to have dinner with God. I would most certainly love to have dinner with God. Um, but is he considered even a person? Because the question was, who would you like? Who are the three people you would like to have dinner with? But anyway, and my reason for that is, um, in terms of life, there are moments where I feel like it can you know, there are times where honestly I feel like sometimes, and I'm uncertain as to what it is that I'm supposed to be doing on this thing called Earth. And like, I feel like if you would have that one-on-one with God, He would actually tell me or elaborate more as to what it is that I need to be doing in life in order to fulfill my purpose, because it is said even in His word that He knew us even before we were formed in our mother's wombs. And there's also Bible scripture, I believe it's Jeremiah 29:10, that says that, um, you know the plans that you have for us, plans to prosper us and to give us an expected end. So if this particular being, let me not say a person specifically, if this particular being knew me before I was even formed in my mother's womb, clearly He had a clear purpose for my life, what it is that I needed to be doing in life, what it is that I need to be fulfilling, which steps I'm supposed to take in order to go into the right direction as to where I am meant to be. Because sometimes I feel like, yes, I found my direction, but at times, like, sometimes there are, maybe I don't take the right steps in order for me to get there, you know. I don't know, but I'd certainly love to have that dinner with God. And the second person would most definitely be my father. I don't know, guys, but am I being selfish for wanting this? Because if you didn't know me, my father died when I was 9 years old. My eldest sibling at the time was quite old, 20 something already. So she was quite old. And the one that I come after. So my three other siblings were quite older. To show that they were quite older, and I feel like, yes, it was painful for them to lose our father, but they had experienced him, you know. They had experienced him to the fullest. They had gotten time with them, ample of time at that, because the one I come after was already 18 at the time when he died. I was only 9, literally. Like, I was only 9. Yes, I experienced my father, but I don't feel like I experienced them to the fullest. Honestly speaking, I honestly don't feel like I experienced them to the fullest, because I have clear memories of him, Shane. And we spent hours together. Nearing his death, we spent hours together. He did the most for me. But I feel like we'd need to have that one-on-one. Maybe he wouldn't know why he left me that young, because it was clearly not his decision, you know, knowing what I know now. It was clearly not his decision, because death is not up to us, because he didn't take his life at that. But it's like, dude, couldn't you have maybe bargained with God just to give you another 9 years, maybe? So that at least at the time whereby I lose you, for quite a while, you know? I would really like to sit down with him and just pick his mind on what it is that he had planned for me, what it is that he thought I'd be, what it is that he had planned in his head as well, that as he took certain precautionary measures for me, what was it that drove him to that? And why even have me at the age that they had me? Because they were quite old. I always say I never really got to experience my grandparents, and then I laugh at the matter because when I think around the age whereby my parents conceived me, they were quite old, so by now they are considered. For that, guys, I had a visitor, so I even forgot. I know the question we were at, but I forgot my trail of thought. Over where was I? But I'm gonna move on to the third person that I would love to have dinner with. The third person would have to be the devil. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be doing it out of pleasure or finding pleasure in conversing with him. But ndingambuza sanba, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? Because sana, the attacks that one gets holistically, so whether in dreams, life as a whole, because guysini, when I look at certain things in life, and I always emphasize on the fact that there are certain things that alert you in the spirit that thing in life you were supposed to be at a certain point. You were supposed to be at a certain point. Now, if something is fighting against that, it's a clear indication that the devil is at work. And I would love to know, but you don't let anzophumla, you know, I'd really want to know. And I'd honestly want to know what it is that I'd also have to do for him to leave me the hell alone. You get? Yeah. Next one is what's my best trait? This is not self-proclaimed, ne? This is definitely something I've been told a lot. I still don't see it, though. And at times, even when people tell me that you once advised me like this, I don't remember it. But my best trait is giving the best advices. I give the best advice. Like, guys, good with giving advice. The advice is that even hopefully. And then years later, someone is just like, girl, I remember you saying 1, 2, and 3, 1. And I never forgot that. And I implemented it in my life, and I'm just like, nah. I'm like, if nikina lema ele amata hakanakana, kapa hakanakana, why wasn't I, or why am I not taking my own advice? Sana, hey, sometimes I'm just like, Sana, I feel like an old soul is living in me. Selena kilnalema elekate. Yeah, guys, you know what my fear is currently? Well, from the time I started this video, natural lighting was completely gone. So I'm wondering right now, but isn't this video, I can't feel it banner, but I'm gonna hope for the best. But yeah, the next question is, what's the one big dream you have that you have not accomplished as yet? Yeah, no. Yeah, no. There are ample of dreams There isn't a specific one which is bigger than the other. I have ample of dreams that I need accomplishing in my life. Um, like I said, there isn't one that is more important than the other. Each and every one, I rate them at the same level, but they need to be accomplished nonetheless. Am I gonna mention them here? Probably not. Because as the year started, Neritze 2025 is the year of we do, re kwala mona, we do. Lona la tla bona ka di-result akere. What life lessons do you learn, or did I learn the hard way? What life lessons did I learn the hard way? I don't know. There's nothing that comes to mind, honestly speaking, right now when I think about that question. Maybe let me pause it, excuse me. Maybe let me pause it. Maybe by the time I'm done with all the others, I will have thought of something. I don't know. I honestly don't know. What life lessons have I learned the hard way? Oh, and Susanna. If you could time travel back, what would you change in life? Absolutely nothing. There's nothing that I would change in my life, honestly speaking. Nothing. Because the things that I went through, good and bad, are the things that shaped me into who I am today and currently. And I don't want to change anything. I don't want to change anything, honestly speaking. Get sharp, or like, I'm okay with the decisions that I took, whether they were bad or not. I'm perfectly okay with them. And it brings us to another question that says, what is your biggest regret? Also, nothing. I regret nothing in life. I don't care. Even if when you, because you know me, you'd say it's a particular thing in my life that I did that you would assume that I regret. I don't. I don't regret nothing. Maybe some of you would say or would state that maybe having a child at a young age, I would consider that as something that I regret. I don't. I don't regret it, because what do you mean I regret having a child? That is the one person who got me out of emotional situations that no one else would get me out of. That is the one person who kept me alive. Because if I didn't have her, in all honesty, considering the things that I've experienced in life, I wouldn't be alive. I wouldn't be alive to even tell the tale, my dear. So each and every time I thought about her, hence me saying she's the one person who got me out of certain situations. Each and every time I considered taking my life, for instance, I thought that, and then after taking your life, what about her? What's gonna happen to her? Who is going to bring her up accordingly? You know, I would just be opening up a world of misery for her, you know. So how dare I regret something like that? So now in life I don't regret anything, in all honesty. I don't regret anything, and I don't want to change anything about my life, because like I said, those are the things that shaped me. I wouldn't be the person that I am currently if I wasn't shaped by those things. If I wasn't put in the fire, because those things are considered as being the fire, it was basically shaping me and molding me into the gold that I am. But yeah, I don't regret anything, guys, in all honesty. That's just me. Um, the last question. The last question is, why YouTube? Why not YouTube? Why not YouTube? I mean, it's a social media platform. But anyway, jokes aside, why YouTube? Mainly because it's a social media platform as well. It allows me to share aspects of my life. It allows me to express myself. It allows me to somewhat dabble into what it is that I had studied for. Because here's the thing, YouTube, I never thought I'd be a content creator. Leave YouTube aside. Let's take YouTube and focus on Rose, as you guys know me. And let's focus on Rose. I never thought in my wildest dreams I would be a content creator. Because I looked at content creators and I felt like, man, you have to be a super creative person to become a content creator, you know? And for me, I didn't feel like that was my story. I honestly did not feel like that was my story. Yes, I studied journalism and media studies. Yes, I knew that I'd be a storyteller. Maybe not a content creator, but I'd definitely be a storyteller of some sort. Considering the fact that I always knew that I'd be something in media, whether being drama-wise and but it was never in the content creation space. It was more of me taking the content and elaborating it. So, like I said, I had mentioned this is the course that I did. And after doing the course, I honestly tried getting something in journalism or something in the media space. As a result, right after I graduated, I think a month later, I relocated to Joburg. My reason for relocating to Joburg precisely was to see what it is I could do that side that was related to what I had studied. And in the meantime, I decided to get odd jobs here and there in retail. It's just that they consumed so much of my time that I hardly got to go to any auditions. I think within the time frame of because I was there for a good year and a half in Joburg. As I was in Joburg for a good year and a half. Within that year and a half, I only attended one one audition, literally. Within that time frame, just one audition. Otherwise, the rest of the time, I never had time because that's how exhausting retail is. In retail, they will overwork you. They will overwork you. And the one day that you get a rest day and you feel like that would be the time you'd be using maybe to go for castings and you're so tired, you're so exhausted that all you want to do is sleep. Honestly speaking, all you want to do is literally rest. Like it is stated, it is a rest day. And excuse me. And soon after I came back because I'd gotten another excuse me, I'd gotten another thingy now in admin because my vast experience that I have is mainly in the admin and reception field. That's pretty much all I did. And a bit of waitressing here and there and retail here and there. But I've the most experience in reception work as well as admin work. So those are the titles that I held. I never actually worked in media. Like I laugh, but it's not funny. I never dabbled into media per se. The last time I worked in the media space was when I did my in-service training. That was literally the last time. But anyway, so coming back to why YouTube. Why YouTube? A couple of years later, I asked my sister, I asked her to, I don't remember what it was that I needed her to collect at my former college, but it was a document that I needed for application. And she came across a lecturer of mine who asked her, by the way, how is TV doing? You know, and she had explained to her that basically she's not getting anything in the media space, you know, and neither in the journalism field. So she basically told her everything, and my then lecturer was like, tell her to try vlogging. Oh, sana, wathi esacho? Wathi nje sathi vlogging that, guys, I'm not a vlogger. Please, I'm not a content creator, me. That is what I said. Imagine that. That is what I said. I was like, I'm not a content creator, and I don't have content. So why would I start something that I know that I won't be consistent about? That was, I believe, 3, 4, maybe 5 years back when I said that to her. It's the year 2025. And here we are. 13 videos, maybe 14 down the line. That's the same person who said she isn't a content creator. So basically, that's how YouTube came to light. Yeah. Otherwise, thank you guys very much. I know that wasn't a lot of questions, but I'm not a person of many words, guys. I may like to talk, but I'm not a person of many words. But anyway, thank you guys very much for tuning in on this video. I hope you share it. I hope you subscribe on my YouTube channel. I also hope you like it and comment in those comment sections. And guys, as much as I need subscribers, I know I've been preaching subscription, but I need those comments as well, as badly as I need subscriptions. So I'd appreciate it a lot if you guys would literally just comment everything and anything. Don't be rude though, because I know once you say anything to people, you'll just go wild. But I'd honestly appreciate it. I'd honestly appreciate those comments. If you feel that you as well are not a person of many words, or you don't know what to say, or speaking or writing in this instance gives you anxiety, just share a heart. Just comment with a heart, a white one. I love white hearts, by the way. So just comment with a white heart. Otherwise, thank you very much, guys. See you on my next vlog. I go by the name of Rose Romero, and have a lovely day.